Well, hello there and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to this video, which as you can see is my reaction to the results from Luxembourg's Eurovision Song Contest final, which took place on Saturday. Of course, Tali was the winner of the contest, beating Crick and Joel Marquez in the super final of the selection show. And in this video, what I will do is react to the winning performance from Tali on the show. I will give you my opinions of the results and what I thought about the live performance, and then listen to a recap of all the competing entries and give you my opinions on all of them and what I thought about them all. And then at the very end, I'll let you know my overall thoughts on the show and what could be possible for Tali at Eurovision. So before I get into this reaction, there'll be timestamps down below if you want to jump to certain points, and if you want to watch my reaction to all the songs in studio version, the link will be up in the top of the screen. But please do comment down below your thoughts on the winner and the show in general. I'll be very interested to hear what you have to say. If you like this video, please consider clicking the like button, as it helps a lot with the algorithm and all of those sorts of things. Please do feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell, that way you can be informed on all future videos I release. And also feel free to follow me on Instagram. Details are on screen in the description box below and at the beginning and end of all the videos, where I upload loads of Eurovision related stuff. But without further ado, let's begin. Well, okay, so up here I've got the Eurovision performance uploaded to the Eurovision Song Contest channel. And before I do get started, if you did watch my reaction video to all the songs, you will know that Tali going into the evening was my favourite from the 8 songs, and it did stay that way throughout the whole evening, so I am super delighted she won. And yeah, let's watch the live performance and I'll give you some of my opinions of everything that went on. So I do like the staging concept there with the dancers. It gave a good vibe to the song, so I really did like that. And Tali did bring very strong vocals here throughout the song, I did feel, especially for a song that demands quite so much energy and energetic movement. I really like these edge vocal moments that she's got going on there. And I really like the fire that we've got there coming up on the stage there. And I really do like these kind of quick French spoken moments, although in some ways I perhaps would prefer if she just left that for the backing vocal to do and maybe kind of didn't sing that so much herself. That's just a personal preference from me, I think. But she's a very sort of, I don't know how sort of experienced she is, but she had a lot of charisma and confidence on stage that really shone through, I think, compared to some of the other performers who maybe lacked that a little bit. Yeah, and I really do like this chorus. It's got a really memorable hook. The fact that it's in English helps it to stand out. But I really like that we've got the French in the song too. That way it gives it a very nice kind of classic kind of French pop song vibe, which I think I really do enjoy a lot. Yeah, and I really like these really soft moments. I really like vocals there. They really kind of give a very kind of soft, floaty, tropical vibe that the song's obviously got going on quite strongly in the melody. Yeah, and she really did sort of bring out the big notes there. Really did, they're very strong. And I really like the kind of like the big drum beat drop that they've got in the chorus too. And this is just really sort of the song that you just really can just get lost into and sing along to and just have fun with. So yeah, overall, really do like this a lot. And then again at the end, really strong ending there to the song, I felt. Yeah, there you go. As I said, going into the evening, or when I first heard all of the songs, this was the one that appealed to me the most. It gave me a bit of sort of like Elise vibes from like the 90s, that kind of sort of younger female pop vocal, you know, that kind of very floaty, dreamy vibe that mixes the English and the French very well. And I've seen people say, oh, they would have preferred it all to be in French, but I really do like that it does do the mix up of English and French. And I think, unlike some songs, I think it really does do it very proficiently. Sometimes it can sound quite clunky when they're switching languages, but yeah, I think it does it really, really strongly. And I like just the old vibe and the build and the structure of the song. It really is very interesting, and I feel the stage performance was good and the vocals were strong. I perhaps would like to see her do a little bit less. Well, she didn't do a lot of choreography, but I'd like to kind of see her not really, she doesn't need to dance, she just kind of needs to focus on the vocals. And I think having the dancers do stuff around her is good. I think maybe I'd like there to be some kind of prop or something on the stage, so it kind of doesn't make her feel quite so exposed on the stage. I feel like this is a sort of song that's not going to have sort of people dancing and like sort of spread out in that kind of sense. It's going to probably be a song that's going to have her and have the dancers kind of quite centered around her. So I would perhaps like something that helps to make the stage not feel so expansive. But overall, really, really strong. I hope that they polish up the performance even more going into Malmo in May. I have seen some, obviously, the comments and complaints about the Luxembourg selection, and I'll get more back into that more later on. But I really do like this song a lot. I'm very happy with its selection. But yeah, let's take a dive into the other 7 competing songs that took part in the selection show on Saturday. Okay, so here we go with the recap, and before I get into it, I will say that I know a lot of people commented about the standard of songs and the fact that a lot of them are kind of Swedish, Norwegian, Nordic written. True, it would have been nice to see more of the Luxembourgish sort of producers, writers and all of that taking part, but I think for our first contest back, I think this was a proficient way of doing it. They've obviously come back in wanting to make a statement, wanting to do well, so they've gone to sort of people that are experienced, have got a track history of delivering good songs. So hopefully going for the future, they'll be able to, you know, focus on the Luxembourgish like music industry a little bit more. And I think some people perhaps had an overly optimistic or maybe rose-tinted idea of what Luxembourg was going to bring. I think a lot of people thought they was going to come back and bring the classy old school stuff like they did back in the day, be like Portugal nowadays, whereas I feel Luxembourg have come back and actually saying, no, we want to be competitive at Eurovision. And, you know, I think some people are perhaps wasn't really too keen on the route that they took. But yeah, let's just get into the songs and see what I think about them all. So Joe, of course, made it into the super final. When I listened to this in studio version, it didn't really jump out at me too much. It seemed a little bit safe, Mal ballad, middle of the road, but I think we really did sell the song really well with the live vocal, so I don't begrudge it being in the super final. I'll probably add other options I would have put above this, but he really did deliver a good, strong performance, so that's to be commended. Edson never was too crazy about the song. It has got that sort of fun disco vibe, and I do get it more and vibe with it more based on the live performance. He is indeed an extremely strong live vocalist. But yeah, never was going to be one for me and was my least favourite of the 8 throughout the whole selection process, I suppose, for Luxembourg. Naomi gave a really strong vocal, you know, probably one of the strongest vocals of the evening. I think she's only 15 at the moment, so that is very impressive for that. The only thing I will say, and it was quite clear, is that she was very focused, I think, on delivering the vocal performance, that she perhaps missed out on giving the kind of performance thing. She looked very kind of concentrated. There wasn't really any emotion. There was no connection with any of the cameras or anything like that. She was just sort of focused, staring straight forward. And I feel like hopefully that kind of confidence on stage and being able to deliver the strong vocal, but also, you know, have the stage personality and charisma and connection with the cameras will come with time. And I definitely feel like if Luxembourg are going to be in this for the long run with Eurovision, she's definitely a name to look out for the future, because I could definitely see her taking part and getting to Eurovision for Luxembourg at some point for sure. Okay, and then we move on to Drop by Angie and Rafaela. And I'm going to be honest here, I think this perhaps was my favourite performance of the evening. You know, I did like the song in studio version, but I feel live this really came alive. Vocally, they were both really strong and complemented each other really well. I think the staging was really strong too and helped to create a full message. This was probably my number 2 after... Well, was it my number 2 going into this anyway? It could have been my number 2 actually going into the evening anyways, but definitely my number 2 afterwards. I would have liked to seen this in the super final for sure, and it was a shame that they didn't make it. But yeah, really do love the song and the performance. And yeah, they just are really strong performers, lots of charisma, stage presence, you know, passion, attitude. It all really worked really well for me. So big fan of this one on the live performance. One last time with Devin the Detail. Strong performance. He has a good vocal. But I think it is perhaps just lacking something slightly for me for it to really stand out, and for it to perhaps to stand out amongst some of the other rock songs. It has got kind of a very schlagery rock vibe, which, as we said, we've got all the Nordic writers in the song contest, that perhaps isn't to be surprised. And moving on to Crick. So yeah, I really do like this song. I like the dramatic vibe. When I first listened to it, I didn't realise it was an Elsie based song, but when I found that out, you can kind of hear all the hallmarks of 2 entries in Melody Grand Prix previously, so that wasn't much of a surprise. Like Naomi, she is an extremely strong vocalist, but she was also able to sort of play with the camera and give the charisma and all of that. Staging wise, I do think it was perhaps a little bit bland. I would have liked to have seen her move around a little bit. I think having her on the little podium made it a little bit of a stilted performance. I do think if it had gone to Eurovision, the big question is, will the televoters vibe with it? I think the direct comparison for this from last year would be Bridges, and the juries went crazy for that. But it only did just scrape through to the final. So perhaps it would have been a bit touch and go whether it had made the final, but I do think if this was chosen and it did make the final, the juries would go crazy about it. And perhaps quite similar to Italy in 2011 when they came back, when the juries had that... did they have that as their winner or second? I can't really remember now. One of the two. This would have been right up there, because I think Luxembourg would have got some welcome back votes from the juries. Wasn't to be, of course, and I'm sure it'll be great, similar to Naomi, if Crick does try again for Luxembourg in the future. If they do keep coming back, I think we could definitely see her at Eurovision at some point, because vocally she did give a very standout performance. Okay, so Child, and unfortunately, and I think a lot of people probably picked up on this, the vocal performance here was probably the weakest of the evening. There were a lot of flat notes. I did feel that when he was doing his Ed voice notes, those actually sounded quite good and strong. But then for the rest of the part, especially in the chorus, it was pretty flat. I know a lot of people were very critical that I think he entered with his own song, but then the producers made him go with the Thomas Gieson song. And I think a lot of people were saying that this wasn't a song that's his usual style, which I think is a shame, because he did come across as an extremely likeable person. And he does clearly have strong vocals, as he did show at other points throughout the evening. So I would definitely like to see him try again for Luxembourg with his own composition that plays to his own strengths more. And hopefully that can work for him better then. But yeah, probably the weakest of the 8 performances on the night, sadly. And then Tali, we've already discussed her, I've already told you how much in love with this song I am. You know, I can't really add any more onto it. It is a really strong song, and I think it does play to all of my sort of likes in pop music. It ticks a lot of boxes for me. So yeah. So there we have it. That's my reaction to the Luxembourg Song Contest final, which took place on Saturday, and to the winner Tali with Figter. And I would also now just want to say how much I really enjoyed the actual national final. You know, a lot of people did have complaints about the songs taking part, but I don't think anyone can really have any complaints about the actual selection show. For me, Luxembourg just came back after 31 years out of the contest and actually delivered one of the strongest national final shows for many years, really. You know, it was a great show, well produced. I loved the stage, I loved the host. I loved having Desiree back after she hosted the last time Luxembourg hosted back in 1984, so like that nod to the past, and she is a really strong, competent host. And I have seen lots of people saying that if Luxembourg were to win again, they would love to see her win. They would love to see her host Eurovision again, which I can definitely get behind. And yeah, I like the inclusion of all the Eurovision legends. It's always great to see that, and all the different melodies, all the different medleys and everything that was involved. I thought that was all really, really, really well done. So yeah, overall I really did love the whole show, and it just kind of topped off it all that I ended up getting the winner that I was really rooting for from the very beginning. And yeah, I do have to say that at the moment this is my favourite of all 6 selected songs, not including Austria yet, because that hasn't been officially released and I haven't actually even heard it yet. So out of the 6 that we do have officially released, this is my number 1, and I can definitely see this staying in my top 5 throughout the whole of Eurovision season. I know it's not for everybody. I think some of the people that perhaps prefer the more, how to put it, maybe more, I don't want to say real music, but the more credible stuff, shall we say, maybe won't get into it too much. But for me, who likes the kind of 90s pop vibes, this is something that I really do love, and I do see that there is potential for this to get into the final if it's staged well and she's given good vocal backing support too. You know, she's a strong vocalist, it's a fun song. You know, it's got that good, fun vibe. I actually kind of feel a little bit similarities to Loin d'ici for Austria in 2016. That was also in French. It's kind of giving similarities there, and I can actually see that the telephone might get behind it in a way that they did then. No one really gave that much of a chance. I think a lot of people thought it might struggle to qualify, but in the end, you know, the telephone really helped it to fly through in 2016, and I could see something similar happen to it, possibly. But yeah, those are just my very initial thoughts on the live show on Saturday. So please do let me know down in the comments your thoughts on what you think, how everything went down. Was Tali your favourite? Are you happy she went through? Did you want someone else? How do you think this could do at Eurovision? In particular, if you're from Luxembourg, it'd be interesting to hear from you with your big comeback to Eurovision. Are you excited, and what are your thoughts? So please let me know all that down below. If you did like this video, please click the like button. It helps with the algorithm a lot. Please do consider subscribing. It's a notification bell to be informed on all future video releases from myself. Follow me on Instagram if you like. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please do take care. And until the next video, goodbye.